Yeah, cruising in the ocean with my fellas, waving at the shore, we got all them people jealous. They see that we shining from way over yonder. Gotta thank my father, my sponsor, for putting me on board and also giving me the capability to live life with no fear, create buzz with no beer. God is the reason why I live like this. Now everybody hating me, now I feel like Chris. Working out, eating right, now I look like this. Phone filled with different numbers, now my ex on pissed. Now I'm playing, she don't care cause she move like this. Man, I ain't hating cause she bad, man, we all ruthless. Man, I got money in my pocket, diamonds on my pinky and that brain.
What he said?
Rikishi just basically talked about how, he was pretty much breaking down his family history, you know what I'm saying? He started off kind of real cool about it. But as he began to talk, some more attention started to build. And before he knew it, he said, he's outstanding on business, right? This is about business moves, things like that. And he told him straight up, he said they didn't do Jay right. He said they didn't do him justice. And he talked about the family history, how Jay is top at merch sales, how Jay is doing this, Jay is doing that, Roman Reigns is doing this, the whole bloodline is doing that. He pretty much said that WWE, they've been around the WWE for like 75 plus years. I'm like, dang, that's a long time. You know what I'm saying? So he talked about that, and he just talked about like the magnitude of Jay losing. He said to Gunther, he said he ain't got no problem with Gunther for losing. I like low-key like, he didn't want to beat Jay, but he was saying something he was going like, he kept stressing 51 days. He said, my son got 51 days. He said, as well tested. You know what I mean? And he just really was like low-key emotional about it, talked about it some more. So just really was upset. He just said overall, they did him no justice. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much did him dirty. And he said it's not right. He said we done gave too much this man third for us to be settled with this loss and him not being restricted for a longer time. So he's upset. He's upset. As we all had expected he would be.
Yes.
So Rikishi pretty much said word for word what Larry been saying for the past, I don't know how long.
He must have got my message.
He must have, because ain't nothing that Rikishi said that Larry ain't said already.
Yep.
That's crazy.
They don't messed up big time. I'm trying to tell y'all, they don't messed up. Rikishi and his brothers are the next elders of their family, along with the Rock, so they can easily say that no more members of their family is coming there, and they can easily pull the members that's already in the company out of the company.
They can shut stuff down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And WWE will go bankrupt because they'll lose Roman Reigns and all of them.
Dang.
He brought Roman too.
He brought up Roman too. Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what Larry said, bro. The bloodline is the reason why this place is functioning. That's the reason why when people be like, that's the reason why when cats be saying that Larry is meat glazing on the bloodline. But the fact of the matter is, meat glazing or not, he's telling the truth. There's nothing. How can you meat glaze if you telling the truth? This is crazy, bro. This is crazy.
It is crazy.
The rebuttal is
You know
crazy.
what it is? Some people are not fans of the bloodlines like that.
Well, they're gonna have to get used to it. If they want the
Yeah, I
WWE to
know.
be around,
They
they
already
better
used
hop
to it.
on.
If you're gonna be you used to it every single week. If you ain't used to it, don't watch it no more. Don't watch the product.
Yeah,
Watch
they
AEW,
gonna.
watch WWE. You gotta watch the WWE if you don't
That's
want to see
a
the
fact.
bloodline.
Yeah,
That's on you. Period.
that's
I watch it
crazy.
because I love it, and I'm always interested and I'm always intrigued. Yes, and yes, we have read reports. I'm not going to spoil nothing towards anybody. We have a report. Thank you, Larry, for sending in the research. I've also been told about that the other day. We already know what time it is. I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm gonna let people figure that out on their own. Because coming this Friday night on SmackDown, you'll see for yourself, right? So,
Oh yeah,
You got a point. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, like y'all gonna know what time it is. And Keisha just responded. The video is like 13 minutes long. It's not a very long video. It's just him talking and just him getting off his stuff. And I'll put it to you this way: he left, pretty much hitting the microphone off before the video went off black. You know what I'm saying? So he get Like I said, that man is upset. And I don't blame him. I don't blame him. I don't blame him.
Wow.
I don't blame him.
Wow.
Like I said, WWE has to be doing this for a reason. I'm still thinking about my kids.
But they've been playing Jay. They've been playing Jay. They've been doing Jimmy dirty. They make Jimmy look like a class clown now.
Jimmy been looking like a class clown. He looked like what they used to do to the New Day back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Y'all think they doing the same thing to Roman dirty?
You can't do Roman dirty. I think
That's what they're
Roman,
gonna say.
yeah, they can't do Roman dirty. I really think Roman got other things going on right now.
Roman know how to take care of his kids.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I think they said he tapped into modeling. You know what I'm saying? He might be in a couple movies, stuff like that. Just like Jay
And
Cargill. Shout out to
he
her.
about to
She's
be
in
the
a movie now.
That's
So that's why we
real.
don't see her much. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, bro, when
yeah.
somebody with a
Roman about
name
to
like
be
that, Roman Reigns they can't do him wrong.
Roman's about to be in I think Street Fighter.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that's probably why we don't see him.
Yeah, that. Then he got 5 kids he gotta take care of. He's trying to make time for his kids.
I see their reason for doing what they're doing with Roman, but at the same time, I just noticed the difference of how they treat him versus how they treat the Usos, how they treat Saul Sequoia, how they treat like the person that I'm. This is gonna be a hot take, but I think the closest person that they're treating on the same level as Roman when it comes to Orr and pushing him like right is Jacob Fatu.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. How you doing?
They have not misled. They have not misled Fatu. Like, I love Solo, I love the Usos, but they have not misled. But Fatu has not been misled.
5740.
Yeah, and the way they treat Solo, I wish Solo would have just stayed on the independent scene.
I'm alright. Should I go back that? No, okay.
I kind of wish he would have stayed on the independent scene because Solo was. If you seen Solo on the independent scene, you would have seen way better matches. You would have seen Solo do some stuff you never seen him do before.
Yeah.
And
That's
they're not even using him like because Solo is really a beast in that ring, and they're not letting him show it.
I agree, but at the same time, I think people like me, if he would have never made it, if he would have been back at the other scene, I would have never knew who Solo was. Because a lot of people only tune in to like AEW or the WWE. They don't tune in to nothing else.
Yeah.
So that would have been the only hard part. He would have still been him, but it would have been him without being on the main stage.
Yeah, Solo stayed on the independent scene. His independent scene name would have been as big as Jacob's is.
Hmm. And the Tungas too, probably,
Really?
because they tag team was crazy.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I think the world still want to see that the Tungas versus the Usos. I think they still want to see that.
You probably won't get that because Rikishi might pull everybody.
I don't think he's gonna pull them. I think they're gonna fix the problem. They're gonna have to
If they
fix it.
don't if they don't fix the problem, he can pull them off. He can pull them off. They gonna literally walk up there while they're on TV or anything, call all this family to the ring and tell them they need them. Pack the stuff up, we gone.
But would that be a smart move though?
Yeah, that's a
For
good
them,
question.
yeah.
I don't
Cause,
think it would be a smart move
cause
if your lineage is
Because
all in the WWE. The lineage is all in the WWE. And if you pull them, you're about to start something totally different, which means you're about to
Yep.
go on another company that that your people never
Yeah,
been
let,
done ever.
yeah. They can create history if they wanted to. And if the whole faction leaves the WWE, major brands like AEW, oh trust me, they gonna send that send that proposition to try to get them boys over there.
Say what you want to say about AEW. Tony Khan got that money though.
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
He's
I'm not saying that ain't wrong, and I'm not saying that wouldn't be right. Because I'll rock with it. But at the same time, if your lineage and your background is all WWE, you're about to mess your whole lineage up. Because even if you send them over there, AEW still won't have that type of time to be better than WWE. It'll take years for them to catch up to them, even if they got all of
It,
them.
it really wouldn't because they are the ones that go over there already got you know, big names in sports
But
in the sports industry
I,
and
yeah,
made a name for themselves on the independent scene.
I
You
know,
know
but the
they can
WWE's
easily.
been around for years, decades. They just started. They're gonna have to do decades forever
I'll
to
tell you
catch up.
this.
Because
I'll
if
tell you
Roman goes
this.
over there and Roman only got 2 years left, maybe three, you got the Usos, they're gonna be only there for 2 years, 3 years tops. Then you go over
no,
there
Beach
with
is right.
Jacob and everybody else. That's
Beach is
it.
right. Beach is
No,
right
Everybody else is gonna have
because
to.
here's what you got to understand, Larry. Here's what you got to understand, Larry. The WWE has been around since the late, maybe mid
They've been around
70s,
too
right?
long.
They've been around for too long, like almost close to 4 or 5 decades. We're talking about that long. So when you got AEW, a baby company, in its essence, really, who's only existed for only 6 years, it's going to take a whole lot for them to go ahead and compete with WWE and to take the bloodline. Now is it possible they can take Roman, Uso? I believe it is possible. It's not out of the
I
realm of
think it's.
possibility because
I'm not saying it's not possible
hold
either.
on,
I'm saying that it is
hold on,
possible. I'm just saying this
right, but at
decade
the same
hold on.
AEW
time,
will never be on the same level as WWE.
but
It don't matter who.
exactly
I, hey,
that's the point. The point BJ's trying to make is this: as even okay, I'll make this in this term. When the WWE, sorry, when WWE bought Hulk Hogan, right? They brought him over there, and they did the whole entire NWO storyline. That worked, and it did great, right? It was a great time for the WWE to the point where they beat the WWE in 83 weeks as far as ratings. Now, there was a time where I think Kevin Nash even mentioned this on Office podcast, some of you sessions and things like that, and he said to Eric Bishop had got them all in the room. I think he got him, Scott, and Hulk, and probably a couple of other guys. And Eric got so, Eric is so banged or whatever like that. And he told him like, yeah, we finna put them out of business. We gonna put this man out of business. We gonna do well, this, and that, third. And Hulk and Kevin shared a look, and they looked at Eric and they told him to his face, "No, you won't.
Can't.
No, you won't." Even though, yes, they had did great as far as like very well with them and things of that nature. At the end of the day, you can't put out a business that was already jacked up from the get go. You can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, could they have potential to do it? Yeah, but the problem was, I think Eric Bishop leaned way too into the NWO storyline that he didn't focus on any and everybody else. That's why WWE didn't beat WWE outright, because they kept focusing too much on the NWO, and the only guy they had outside of it was Sting.
Right.
That was it. If they had focused on saying, "Hey, we're gonna put Rey Mysterio against this guy or that guy," have Rey Mysterio face. I'm just saying, have Rey Mysterio face Hogan, or let's see Eddie Guerrero face Goldberg. You know what I'm saying? If they will capitalize and not look at them as different, then WWE would have succeeded outright, and the whole entire business would have gone down. But Eric Bischoff, he was only, I hate to say it, he's only one track mind.
You don't even gotta go there. You can go deeper. You can go deeper and be like, well, if the bloodline and everybody went over there, it's gonna be people in AEW that's gonna hate the fact that they're not getting TV time no more because the bloodline is there and they're gonna want to leave.
Facts. Yep.
So
This is
you
true.
can't balance that out.
It's true.
And if you send Zilla, like you said, Zilla, Jacob's brother, and all of them, you still we're talking
Yeah,
decades.
Beach is right. Yeah,
That's only two
you're right.
people. You're gonna bring like 10, and of course everybody gonna come up like Roman's kids and all everybody's kids. I'm not saying that that's not possible, but you got but the fathers that was there, what am I saying, Rikishi's, his dad, Yokozuna's, and all who was about to
No,
bro, they're,
Rikishi father
they're
didn't
not gonna
wrestle.
make that. They're
His
not gonna
uncle,
change
his
AEW. They
just
can't.
his
Yeah.
the
So,
ones that started off with Rikishi and them was his uncles.
But that's what
But
I'm
well,
saying.
from that,
That's what I'm saying. So I'm saying the uncles who are going to be the uncles who are going to bring that type of power to AEW.
Roman, Roman, Jerry, and Jimmy.
Jimmy and Jay and Roman is only going to be there for the next 2 years, maybe three. After that, it's over. We talking about decades. Who else you
No,
got?
Jerry said he's gonna be here till his son get there.
Larry, I think you're missing the point.
Yeah, they're not going to be there long enough, bro. Jay Uso can't stay for 5 decades.
No.
That's what I'm saying. To have an impact like that, like Jay Uso had his impact, he got his impact going on. Roman Reigns had his impact going on. All of that, and AEW, of course, they got the money and things like that. But like I said, you're going to have to share. You're going to have to share the TV time,
Yep,
and if you can't share the
yep.
TV time, everybody's leaving. They're going to be like, "Well, I'm going to
Especially
WWE."
especially when you take into consideration about this, the AEW comes which is Bobby Lashley, Shawn Benjamin, and MVP, right?
Yeah,
And MVP's whole thing was they didn't do the hard business right in WWE, so he took
they didn't
over.
share the
He
TV
went and
airtime,
decided to bring Bobby and Shawn alongside with him to AEW. So it's
right?
like
So
you
if he
and Bloodline
pulls them,
come over now, they fall to the wayside once again.
and we already talk about it now. It's people that talk about it now that they say that they're tired of the bloodline.
Yep,
I'm not tired of them, but I'm saying if you swing the bloodline
me
to
neither.
AEW, they're gonna start saying the same thing.
Yep.
It's a problem that can't be fixed. They just have to accept the fact that you got to put the bloodline in the front when it's time. If he pulls them, that might be that's gonna be a problem. That's
Yes.
gonna be a problem. I will pull some. I wouldn't pull all. You have to keep both. That's what I think is smart. I think they should take over both companies. I have some in the bloodline and some in I mean some in WWE and some in AEW. I would do that. So they'd be like,
I
bro, we
would
shut
say
both companies
TNA
down.
is too small. I was a TNA, but TNA is too small. Respectfully,
Yeah, for the bloodline. No, yeah, the bloodline need big name.
way too
That's what
small.
I'm saying. AEW, like Jacob, I would keep Jacob at the WWE. I would keep Roman Reigns there. I would keep the Usos there and let them finish their stint out. But Zilla and all them, I would bring them in at AEW and just take over. Jacob brother, all of that. I would balance it out so you can shut down both companies. Like, yo, yeah, well, I run both
Hmm.
joints. That's what I would do. But to pull everybody away from one, that y'all all y'all family only wrestle for this company. They never wrestle for nobody else.
They've wrestled for
Was
other
they in the
companies,
WC?
just not as big companies.
Has any of them ever
Like
been
they
in the
don't wrestle.
WCW? They never been in the WCW. None of them.
Mm,
I
I'm
don't think
trying to
so.
think. Was any of them
I'm
ever
not
in the
sure.
WCW?
I'm about to see a
The
list of people
roster.
who was
Yeah.
on the roster. They
Um,
might have been.
that's what I'm saying. I'm like that could have been a possibility. They
Yeah,
was on WCW.
Offer and Secret might have been.
That's what I'm saying.
Peter Maivia.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, bro, those lineages. We still gotta hope. We still gotta hope and pray that AEW, even though Tony Khan got all that money, we gotta hope and pray that they don't get bought out. We gotta hope and pray they're gonna stick around for decades because we
The
thought we
AEW
thought
was meant.
WCW was going thought WCW was gonna stick around that long, and they got bought out.
I'm with Busy on this. The reason why I agree with Busy over this is because you gotta think AEW serves as as WWE's counterpart, their alternative. So when you
Yeah.
go to that, one of the reasons why you go to AEW is because, well, either you said I want my contract to expire, you didn't like the
Mhm.
career as far as WWE,
Mhm.
something had happened backstage, boom, boom, or more importantly, and this is just the number one reason, you got fired,
Mhm.
right? So the moment you got fired, the moment you was without a job. So because you had so much buzz as far as your name, what Tony Khan did it very well, and I was saying here saying he's the first one to do it, but what he does well is he capitalizes on the momentum and buzz of how fans feel about certain wrestlers. So he brings them over to the company, and we're praying to God, hoping that he can bring closure to their careers in a way where they're being treated fairly. But Tony's problem, one of the reasons why fans don't have a lot of trust in him as far as like people going over to AEW, is because Tony Khan is one of those. I put you this way: people have utilized it as Tony Khan. Well, he treats you like a toy. I hate to say that about him, but he treats you like a toy in the sense that if he stays playing with you, right, and he's having fun with you for the time being, it would be great for he wants to see you. But after that, he's going to the next.
All right.
But yeah, the point I'm trying to make is Tony Khan's biggest issue is as much as he can hire talent, he can't manage talent all the time very well. That's why you got talent saying they want to leave the company because they don't feel like they're being treated to the same effect as they will guys in WWE.
Tony Khan doesn't have a Shawn Michaels.
No, he doesn't, and he's
That's
by
the
himself.
problem. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
he's
the
by
problem.
himself. No, I'm gonna tell
He
you,
don't have
matter
a
of
Shawn
fact, I'm
Michaels.
gonna tell you what it was. I'm gonna tell you what it was. He has EVPs, right? It's Tony Khan and it's the Young Bucks and it's Kenny Omega. They lost Cody Rhodes, and that was a downfall. That was the start of the downfall.
Mm.
It was working for a while though. The same exact time, it was like once they had left, once they let go of Cody, it was like you don't have that structure no more. CM Punk infamously went on Ariel Hawaii's pockets and said AEW is not predicated on being a real business. And I hate to say it, but he was right. It's a circus.
Yeah, they're not even WCW yet.
I feel like Cody Rhodes might go back once his contract up.
I think so too. I'm in agreement with that.
If he does, he's
On the left
up
right
to
here.
him. If he does.
They gonna move. Who won't bully nobody?
Cause I really don't see a reason why Cody still stick around in WWE. I think he's already accomplished everything.
Yep, no problem. Yeah, but yeah, they. I don't know. They're a good product. They're a good brand, but I think AEW is they not even NXT yet right now. I think that if you did pull them and I think if you pulled them and you put them in TNA, and I think TNA got some type of connection to the WWE, I think that would work. Even though
No,
TNA is small, I think they would get bigger because the whole Bloodline family is over there.
what I'm thinking about as far as pulling them
Yeah.
is pulling them to make a statement.
Oh, until they fix things to bring them back.
Yeah,
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. I could see that.
Hmm.
and you can make a big statement.
I mean, as long as they, you know what I'm saying? Like, it depends. Like, because even if it's a statement, I mean, we complain every week about some things. Some people are so bullheaded, they don't care. They got the money and they like, man, whatever. We'll figure it
But
out. We don't need y'all.
Yeah, but once they seen all the wrestlers and stuff about the league and how the fans were so mad, they brought back our truth.
Yeah, they had to too, and
This
they
this
weren't too
is
thrilled about it.
this should be a lesson, understanding that people gotta. This is not just for us. This is for everybody that's listening to this podcast or listening to this episode right now. This is what you gotta understand. As much as you take in the enjoyment of watching or viewing a product, as far as like the WWE and AEW or TNA, the MLW, the ESPN circuit, what you watch on YouTube online, whatever it is, understand that the business of professional wrestling is not a perfect business. This would be a lesson for everybody to understand this. Like, as great as WWE is doing as far as like what they're like doing as far as the product. I'm not talking about the business stuff. The business stuff is whatever. I'm talking about what you're doing as far as your weekly shows and things like that. You can give credit where credit's due. Even the PLEs are dope, right? But with that said, it's not a perfect business. Which is why we don't come on this thing coming around here talking about Jey Uso losing that world title was a great decision. We all agreed it wasn't. Like, legit.
Right.
Like, that was not a great decision. You know what I'm saying? It was a great match? Yes. I'll give credit where credit's due. Arguably, Jey Uso's probably his best match today. And I thought last year, like, with Damian Priest was his best match today, but his Gunther was really off the charts. I'm not going to hold you.
Right.
But,
So just I gotta ask you to do something.
hey, go ahead.
If you could send a message to Triple H right now, what would you say on the decision that he just made?
You know what, Larry? I'm gonna let you have the floor on that one.
No, he asking you.
No, I'm asking you.
He
What would
asking
you
you.
say
What would
then?
you say to him?
I don't know. I would say 100, to be honest with you. I really don't. Like, not because I don't have a clue as to what I would say to him, but more so like I don't know what I would outright want for him to do. That's what he's not already doing. That's my genuine answer.
So you wouldn't have told him that he made a bad decision?
You don't think the
About
decision was
Jey
bad to
Uso?
take the title off of Jay? I don't think. Me personally, I don't think that
Mm-hmm.
Jay Uso is the reason why they lost $3 billion. It's more to it than that.
Me neither. Me neither.
I think that's a big thing, but I also think that they was $3 billion in the hole before Jay Uso lost the belt.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know
Yeah.
where they dropping the ball at. I don't know where they're dropping the ball at. I don't know if they're dropping the ball because they selling the tickets too high. You know what I mean? I don't know if they're doing. I don't know. Ever since they got the Netflix, it got crazy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
there you go.
yeah.
There you go.
They might not have needed to do the Netflix. They might have
You
needed to
know
stay with
what?
that
It
WWE
wasn't.
Netflix.
No.
I mean that network,
You
the
know what?
WWE network.
That's it. That's it. Because remember when WWE was going to Netflix, right? That was back in January of last year, 2024.
Yeah,
And it was said that the WWE paid them about, what was it? Did they say $30, $40 billion?
I don't remember.
I forget the amount of the estimate, but it was around those numbers. I was like, bruh, that's a lot of money they're paying for their show to be on there. But I was like, the WWE's on Netflix. I'm like, Netflix? Like, it was no Hulu, nothing, Netflix.
They on Hulu too.
Okay,
They got a
Yeah,
Hulu deal.
I think for the
that may be the
I,
reason why.
I think that for the
They definitely got a
exposure.
Hulu deal.
Yeah, I think for the exposure it made sense, but at the same time, you had the WWE network. I think you just need to just tap into. I mean, even though you want to expand, you might want to just start feeding your fans that are really your fans. When you start tapping into Netflix and stuff like that, you're charging them something that we used to watch every day for free. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We used to watch that for free. How you doing? We used to watch that for free. We used to watch Raw on USA and all that stuff for free. We didn't have to pay for that stuff. Now all of a sudden you got to pay $24.99 to go and watch somebody. I don't know, bro. They might have dropped the ball with that. They might have dropped the ball with that. To be honest, that might be their problem.
Yeah, yeah.
That might be their
And then
problem.
you got everybody confused because people from SmackDown keep appearing appearing on Raw, well, they had nothing to do with anything that's on Raw.
Yeah, yeah. I think they're money hungry and they getting smacked in the face for it.
Yeah, TKO.
Yeah, I think they're money hungry and they getting smacked in the face for it.
Then the bad storyline that they've been coming around with, a lot of stuff taking perspective.
Yeah, I don't know.
The
No, I mean
the,
the
the
product
increase in ticket
the product looks
the
amazing,
increase in ticket prices.
but the ticket prices they said a pack a package for SummerSlam was $40,000. Who's paying $40,000 for one night?
That's what I'm saying.
My man said he said if he paid 40,000, he's the Intercontinental Champion. Forget that. He said if he paid 40,000, I should be in a match. What you talking about? I should not be sitting in the ground. If I'm paying 40,000, I'm behind the scenes. I'm calling the shots today. That's a lot of money, man. For one day.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. I don't think it has anything to do with the matches. I don't think it has anything to do with the wrestlers. I think they went too far. Because now you're forcing people who are wrestling fans to pay $25 a month or whatever to watch them every week.
Yep.
And you might not even watch nothing else on Netflix.
But
That's
I'm gonna
like,
tell you
I'm
something
like, man,
though.
I ain't doing that.
As much as it's a money hungry type of move, who's to say this man would have not done this? Because you gotta remember he was around that time when that deal got announced.
I'm
They
not
said they
saying
wanted to
that.
let him go.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying Vince McMahon wouldn't have did that, but I think Vince
I
McMahon
don't
is
think he
smart
would have
enough.
because he had
I,
because look at it this way. Vince had every chance and opportunity to do the same thing, and he
yeah,
didn't.
yeah, I'm not saying that he would
He
or he
could
wouldn't, but I
he could have
think
did it right.
his business mind is way more business savvy than the people on TKO. He wouldn't have been 33. He
I
wouldn't have
agree.
been 3 million in a 3 billion in a hole. I tell you that. He would have figured it
I
out.
agree.
He would have figured it out. He wouldn't have just pulled the
Yeah.
trigger and did whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I think the business. I think
So
people were happy when they eliminated Vince McMahon because of the situation and the allegations and stuff. But they didn't understand when
right.
you lose Vince McMahon, you kind of lose WWE,
Yes, in a
and
sense,
people didn't care.
I agree. I agree.
And people
I
didn't
agree.
care. Oh
So
yeah, we don't need that type of. We don't need that
yep.
type of person
Exactly.
around and da 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 da. But now the business is in
Exactly.
shambles.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? That's kind of
And
crazy.
it
And you know
is.
what?
I agree.
Hey, you know what? I don't completely blame Vince.
For
Like
what?
people
His
attacking him.
allegations?
Yeah,
Yeah.
people attacking him and trying to drop him away from his company and stuff like that. When I'm like, these people just now, after years,
Yeah.
just now saying something,
Say something.
and they understand.
But at the
Hey,
same exact time, Larry, at the same exact
hold on.
time, even if it took them years to do so, they got paid hush money to keep their mouth shut for years. You
Yeah,
gotta
yeah.
think.
Hold on, hold
If
on,
I'm
hold
getting
on,
paid
hold on,
50,
hold on.
20, 30 some million, I would keep my mouth shut as well.
Well, is it not on true or am I crazy?
It's not true. It's not going up.
It sure did it?
So what would be the reason why they opened their mouth though? If they got hush money, would he stop
The,
paying?
mo-
Because I believe
the,
they got
the,
I'm
mo-
gonna keep it real with you. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I don't think now some people speculate Hunter was the reason behind it. A lot of people say Triple H was the reason behind this man getting allegations, and they had to push it out the same way.
Come on, we'll get stuck in between the
You
floors.
you said you said Hunter was the reason behind the exposure?
No, some people are saying, rumor has it that people are saying Hunter did it so that people can enjoy the fight a lot better and get him out of that position, get his
Oh,
position out of that
oh,
outside row, right?
oh, I got you.
Because if they get him into the row, which by the way, if you notice, people always love Hunter as far as how he did great and looking when it came to doing NXT. Those early NXT shows, people love the way Hunter did those shows, right?
Right.
So And everyone for years kept clamoring. Everyone for years was clamoring. They said, "Bro, if you give Hunter Raw and SmackDown, it's going to be a better product. It's going to be a better product." Everybody kept saying that for years. And Beast, you remember around that time how it was. This man would bring the Count Fantasy up, and then Count would be gone from the main roster.
Right.
Ultimately, from WWE altogether, right?
Right. Mhm.
So that happened. Um, but Hunter, they're saying that basically, like, either he sent out information, Stephanie made somebody around this man may have sent out some information. That's what I'm believing. I don't think Stephanie did. I don't think Hunter did. I think they got tired of him. I think they were exhausted of him for sure at times. But I don't think they had a hand on getting rid of this man. I think someone close to him was not to be trusted, and that's why they got him out of there. Because before, you're talking about dealing with Nick Khan. Nick Khan was with Vince. He wasn't the CEO yet. So if you don't know, Nick Khan is the CEO of WWE. Hunter is the COO of WWE. He is the but he also has his hand in creative. And so, and then when Vince came back, he has hand in creative as well. You can just tell. But then once we got to 2024, by the time WrestleMania 40 had happened, that was all Hunter. No Vince man involved whatsoever. And that was essentially like the first Hunter show. Well, at least, yeah, it was the first. I think it was the first wrestling show Hunter was producing for the whole entire Generation era. So yeah, that's what it was. So yeah, I don't think he had a hand. I think someone around this man, had exposed him. They exposed all his dirty secrets and things like that that no one wants to be told, like, up front, basically about.
Yeah, go ahead.
What I think what it was is that they wanted more. They wanted, as far as hush money, they wanted more. And a lot of news articles and stuff will instantly, pay people what they want for information like that.
But even if that's
So
true,
I feel like they wanted more.
Even if that's true, Larry, this man made himself look very, very bad on a Netflix special. He did. Bro, when he talked about Rhea Charrington, the referee that he had hired from back in the 80s, and that allegedly he coerced her into giving him oral sex, things like that. What was not being said about that whole entire situation was him saying, he said, even if I did do it, the statute of limitations had already been passed. I mean, if you don't know what that really is talking about, that's really talking about, essentially what he was trying to say was, even if I had did it, you couldn't go right here and legally arrest me. It wouldn't have been illegal for me to do what I had did. That's insane for him to say. And
It is insane to say, but
the whole entire special, that was
I think
like, come on, bro, like,
I
now
think
you
the
doing
problem
suspect.
I think the problem with the world, and I think a problem with a lot of people, is the fact that when it comes to business, people can't look past the person's
Mm-hmm.
lifestyle compared to the business. If Vince McMahon was doing all
Yeah,
of
that's
that
true.
stuff,
That's
I ain't
true.
got no. That's Vince McMahon. He's a terrible person, but he's an awesome
Right.
businessman. I'm not firing him because he's doing that, because that has
Right.
nothing to do with the business. Except for the
Right.
things that he was doing with the wrestlers and things like that. That's different. But when it comes to like a business mind, if you out here getting oral sex from other people, that's your personal life. That ain't got nothing to do with the reason why you got billions of dollars in
Yes.
your bank account.
Yes.
You got
Yes.
billions of
But
dollars in your bank account because you are a businessman. A lot of people fired that man because of
right.
their personal issues that had nothing to do with the business.
There you go.
And now the
I
business
agree.
is
I agree.
now the business is bad because we don't need nobody
There
of
you
that
go.
nature running the company. And I'm like,
There you go.
him having sex with people, him doing this,
Yes.
and this. I'm like, I get that, but at the same time, bro, we're here for the business.
Mhm.
We ain't here for his personal life. Whatever that man do when they cut the camera off, I don't care. We talking about the
Right.
product.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
And
There you go.
I think a lot of
To
people
your
got him
point.
out of here because of that. They start going personal.
Right.
Oh yeah, well he shouldn't be
Right.
sleeping with people like that and doing da 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 da. All right, but the
Yes.
WWE was the best company in the world. We talk about that.
Agree. Agree. Agreed.
But
But to your point,
this is the
BB,
thing.
it was the hold on, Larry. The perception of the business was looking bad at that time, and so it hurts the quality of people wanting to tune in shows when they're hearing information about, hey, this man did this man did that. So I agree with you. I completely agree with you. But that creates the perception of, well, what else is going on behind the scenes of WWE? What else
But it
is
don't matter
doing for
if it ain't
business?
connected. If it's
It
not
doesn't.
connected to the
It doesn't.
if it's not
We're going to talk
connected to
about
the
that.
business, it don't matter. That's the problem.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
the
I
problem.
get you.
Everybody be looking at people's personal lives. Like, let's say Josiah runs
Right.
McDonald's, but we find out that he's been sleeping
Right.
around with a whole bunch of dudes and females. Oh well, we don't want to go to Josiah. We don't want to go to Josiah's McDonald's no more, even though it got the best food.
Yeah.
That don't make no sense. They're like, bro, we don't care what Josiah do. The food is good.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem. A lot of people be judging people,
Yeah,
and that's the
but
problem because when you put the highlight on your own personal life, that's not out there.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? But since Vince McMahon is a
Yeah.
popular person, we got to air him out. It's the same thing with Puff Daddy. That's why I don't be saying
Yes.
nothing. I'm like, bro, that's wow,
Yes.
that's crazy. I have no comments on
It
that.
is.
I'm like, no. Do I support it? No. But at the same time, am I happy that everybody's in his business? Heck no. Because I don't need nobody in my business.
Right.
Even though I
Right.
ain't out here doing nothing wild and crazy like that, I could be out here doing something that don't nobody.
Right.
I don't want people in my business. And that's the thing. If it's too many people in Vince
Right.
McMahon's business,
The
made him
problem
get out of
is
the
when you're in the
situation, and now
public
the
eye.
WWE is taking a hit.
um,
When you're in the public eye, you cannot do anything to make yourself look bad. Say anything to make yourself look bad. Be told what information that you did look bad. Case in point, Chris Brown putting his hands on Rihanna. To everybody, Chris Brown is a monster. Chris Brown is a villain. Chris Brown is the bad guy. To
Right.
us, we're going when Chris Brown did what he did, not because it was also right, but because it was provoked. Right?
Yeah, he was
And
provoked.
we still
Nobody
love
yeah,
Chris
speaks about
Brown.
that
self-defense.
part.
We love Chris Brown. Huh?
Right. Nope.
Self-defense.
Nobody. Yeah, exactly. Nobody speaks on that part. Everybody speaks on,
They don't.
well,
They
you
don't.
should not hit a woman. You should not hit a woman. I'm in agreement, 1,000%. Don't put your hands on a
Agreed.
woman. I get that. But if a woman gonna spit on me, if she gonna punch on me and all of that stuff, bro, hey, you finish the sentence. That's all I'ma say. It ain't no,
See,
oh, I'm running off, I'm running away. Man, bump all that. I don't got the time to run off or run away. This person just literally came and punched me in my face. She done hit me in the face with a bat, skillet, all this crazy stuff. I'm supposed to just run away? Bro, you finish the
that's
sentence.
what they're saying. Yeah.
You finish the sentence.
Yeah,
That's what they're saying. Yeah, I hear you.
I don't tell anybody to do none of that stuff. I'm against all of that. But at the same time,
yeah,
like we said, if it's self defense, I can't. Come on, bro. You can't just let everybody do whatever they want to you and get away with it.
yeah.
Hmm.
Uh, for instance, so she got a knife. She just stabbed you. What you supposed to do? You just run away and you been hurt?
Hold on, you said what?
No,
What'd you
you
say?
should have. Say for instance, she got a knife and she cut you.
What's going on?
What am I supposed to do? Just run away when she got a knife facing you?
That's what I'm saying. That's the part that don't get talked
I'm gonna
about. They
defend
only talk
myself.
about the end result. And I'm like, nah, that's
Well,
not. That ain't cool.
there's a difference from self defense and people just doing it just to do it
Exactly.
because they feel big and strong.
Exactly. Now let's say that they said, what did they say? I think they said that she spit on him or something like
Yeah.
that, or punched on him or something like that, whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
What if they were on the highway? He is supposed to get
And
out the car and run?
and
Hmm.
here they was in the car.
No,
And
I'm saying like, what if they were in the highway? Was they on the highway? Was he supposed to just hop out the car?
That wasn't being told. That wasn't being told.
See, that's what I'm saying.
they
Like,
they was somewhere in the car. Drive while and she did that while he was driving.
see?
And she threw his CDs out the window. And that's
She was scratching her
back
seat
when
and threw it out.
yeah, that's back when everybody kept all their music and stuff on CDs. You didn't really have
Back
even
then.
digital files to back all your stuff up on. So that was a lot of stuff that he just recorded,
Right,
and that's a lot of his work and money out the window.
right.
That stuff he can never get back.
That messed with that man messed with that man's money to bring in for his family. His money is all jacked up because of that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because of
Then
that.
then after
That's
that,
True.
crazy.
she She cried like a victim, and damaged his career.
For example, we could say that about my boy Tory Lanez right now
Yeah,
in jail, whole life all jacked up on
yeah,
something that he didn't even do.
Oh boy. Oh
right.
boy.
See what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's why I'm like, bro,
Good. Yep.
they don't want to hear his side. They only want to care.
I
They don't
definitely
want
have
to pay
I
attention to
definitely have
hers.
my thoughts about that one. Definitely have my
Yeah,
thoughts about that one.
and you know what's so crazy? If you notice what's going on with Tory, you know what's going on with DDG, right? You
Mm-hmm.
know what that is?
Yeah, I know who that is.
And the females that they're in these situations with, right? Who's behind these females? The same person is behind both.
They ain't Rock Nation.
Rock Nation, Jay Z,
Uh-huh. Jay-Z. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's a whole nother
Jay Z don't,
conversation.
and Jay Z's Beyonce's husband, and
Yeah,
Beyonce is friends
Indeed.
with these people.
Indeed.
So he's gonna do everything possible to keep them in jail
yeah,
or try to get them up out of here.
yeah,
Like for instance for
yeah.
instance, Tory Lanez was stabbed 14 times and sent to the hospital.
Exactly.
Jay Z was behind that. He paid them people to do that to him because Tory Lanez was trying to tell the truth and stuff, and he
Yeah.
didn't want the truth to come out.
He was the one that got the mixtapes pulled because Tory Lanez was using that money he was making off the mixtapes to help the people that was about to get out of jail or help them get
Yeah,
the proper lawyers for they can get out. He shut that junk
right.
down. That's what I'm
And
saying.
a lot of people said oh, Jay Z ain't doing that. Jay Z ain't doing that. Look at his track record.
Yeah. That's
Jay Z is a very selfish person. As soon as he sees somebody doing better than him, he's gonna do everything in his power to bring that person down.
right.
For instance, who you really think was behind Biggie getting that body lift?
Oh yeah. Hey, I know exactly. I'm in agreement with everything you saying. I just don't want to get the
Woo!
page flags. I
Yep.
just ain't trying to get kicked off of YouTube. But yeah, I'm 1,000%
Yeah, bro.
in agreement with what you just
Yeah,
said.
but yeah,
I'm
we
a
we we
thousand
gonna
percent
edit
in
this part out. We gotta edit this part out.
agreement. Yeah, bro. Is that right there?
Yep.
Oh,
That's not. We can't
that's
say
a
that.
whole nother
We can't say none of that.
situation. That's a whole nother
We can't
situation.
say
Yeah,
that.
There's other
That's
people
why.
on
That's
YouTube
why I'm being
be
quiet
talking
right
about it.
now.
There's other people that on YouTube that be talking about it. So I'm not saying it's wrong, but I just don't be knowing that they get
Right.
flagged or whatever. I don't know. Whatever. But
yeah.
anyway,
I
like we
don't
said,
got
back
time.
to
I
Vince
don't got
McMahon.
time.
Like we said, back to
I got
Vince
back
McMahon and people's
back
personal
to.
lives. That's what I'm saying.
I
People's
I
personal lives. And you tell us that's crazy.
I say this about the whole case. People blame Vince, but they should really be blaming these women. They actually
Oh, talk
did that
about it,
for that
bro.
money.
I'm in agreement with that.
They
I'm
they're
so
cl-
in agreement with that.
they're crying victim now because the money's not coming. The increase in money's not coming through no more.
That's a fact. I'm so in agreement with
And none of them they done spent all that money and they down there broke. They gonna do this to get some more money
that. Yeah.
and some more
And this
attention to their name.
this is my thing before we change the subject. This is my thing. Everybody from the ages of what 5 to present, everybody know right from wrong, bro.
Yeah,
That's it. Everybody know right from
yeah,
wrong. That's it. So we can't just be like, oh
yeah,
no, somebody got four. Why move around? You know right from wrong, bro.
Yeah.
You know
yeah.
right from wrong. I ain't trying to hear it.
Yeah,
I ain't trying to hear
yeah,
it. You know right from wrong.
you just started to do that for some money. Now that it's all out,
Yeah,
open, you feel bad. So now you want to cry victim.
yeah. You know right from wrong, and that's from the female side, and that's
I
from
don't.
this side. You
Yeah,
know right from wrong. That's
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Bump that hush money, man. Turn that
Vin-
junk in.
Yeah. Now Vince was wrong because he's a married man. He should never been
Exactly.
stepping out on his wife like that.
Yeah, that ain't
But
cool.
as far as everything else, he's
He
not
been
wrong.
through that though. He been did it.
Yeah,
Been did it.
but as far as
He
other
did on
stuff,
he did on
he's not
TV
wrong.
too.
You said what?
I said he did on TV too.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah, that's
Come
what
on,
I'm
bro.
saying.
You know right
Yeah, he's
from
wrong
wrong.
for that. But as far as the other stuff, I ain't gonna say he's wrong.
Yeah,
Cause they when he approached them, they could have said no and walked away.
exactly. Right from wrong. That's it. There's things you do for money, and then all of a sudden the person who gave you the money is all of a sudden in trouble. Move around. No. No.
Yeah,
For real.
Bro, what you doing? To hit my
and
car? These fools
a
is
lot of
crazy.
females would try to drag a person down.
Right.
For instance, they try to do that to Bill Cosby,
Oh yeah, for sure.
and what it turned out, they always lying.
Crazy, bro. Crazy, bro. Crazy, bro. Oh shoot, 29.
I feel that you ought to go. Treating me like I'm the man. I feel like you ought to go. The things that you do with your hands, I feel like you ought to go. The way that you twerk when you dance, I feel that you ought to. I feel that you ought to go. Treating me like I'm the man. I feel like you ought to go. The things that you do with your hands, I feel like you ought to go. The way that you twerk when you dance, I feel that you ought to go. Baby, you showing that's for real to me. And I can't keep it low key. See everything you do to me is crazy. Boom, bang, two to the dome, you know I came to kill. And all the DJs and beat makers know the drill. Your boy back, they all run like sawmill. This beat was just sent to me, this was a fresh kill.